Hello, my name is Dr. Mario Romero. I have been a restorative dentist for 24 years, and we are here to share with you some tips and tricks on how to use or be efficient on using a rubber dam isolation. We're going to start reviewing our basic armamentarium for a rubber dam isolation. I'm going to start out with showing you the W2 clamp for premolars, the W3 clamp for molars, and the W8A clamp that I normally use for molars that are slightly broken down and that I don't have a lot of room for me to engage the jaws of the clamp towards the molar. I have a wedget. We have our rubber dam stainless steel frame. We have selected a 6x6 rubber dam, medium thickness, and we have our clamp forceps. When it comes to perforating our rubber dam using the Ainsworth rubber dam punch, I recommend selecting only 3 size of punch holes. The largest for the retentive clamp, the second to the largest for every molar, and the second to the smallest for every premolar or anterior tooth. A quick tip that I can give you is always attach the clamp to the rubber dam outside the patient's mouth. So what I normally do is I grab the clamp and I'm looking at the bow of the clamp. I put it underneath the rubber dam and I'm going to set it right into that hole that belongs to the retentive clamp, which is the W3 that I'm using right now. I make sure that the jaws of the clamp are centered with the holes, and I'm ready now to take this clamp into the patient's mouth, holding the rubber dam in this way so that we can protect our patient. So our first step is going to be to attach this W3 clamp to our abutment tooth. So once the clamp has been seated on the abutment tooth, the next step is going to be making sure that you can release the rubber dam and place the rubber dam underneath the jaws of the clamp, just like we did right now. So now you're able to see the jaws of the clamp in the patient's mouth, surrounding the tooth and the rubber dam underneath the jaws. So the next step would be to attach the rubber dam to the rubber dam frame. And the idea is that now you can get any excess of the rubber dam out of the working field and away from the patient's face as well. Okay, so our next step is going to be now to open every perforation to every tooth that we're going to isolate. In this particular case, we're going to go all the way to the mesial aspect of the central incisor. Once the rubber dam and all the holes have been opened, we're going to use a floss and we're going to just push the rubber dam apically around each tooth so that it's nice and secure. And a final step would be to hold the rubber dam on the contralateral side with a wedget. Okay, so to remove the rubber dam, we're first going to pull the wedget out of its place. Now, using a straight scissor, we're going to cut the septum between each of the perforations, stretching the rubber dam buccally. And now you're going to go ahead and remove the clamp from the abutment tooth and then you can go ahead and just easily remove the rubber dam from the patient's mouth. Well, this concludes our educational video for today. I hope that many of the tips and tricks that we've shared with you, you can start using them immediately in your practice, not only to improve the safety of your patients, but the outcome of your restorative procedures as well.